Okay, so now we're going to be looking at tables and extending the pattern. Not necessarily filling in every column that we could possibly do, but jumping from this situation, week 2 to week 52. Okay? So Win makes a whopping $2 a week for a year. He does chores, but not very well, clearly, because he only gets paid $2. Will's a little bit better. He's twice as good, but still sort of bad. And he only makes $4 a week for the year. We're trying to figure out what are their total savings and what are their rules. Okay, so where are we going to start here then? Starting in January 1st with their savings. Where are we going to start? How much money do they have? $2. The very beginning. Zero. They haven't earned anything yet. They've done nothing. Okay, so both going to start at 0. Now, week 1, let's work with Win first. Who wants to do Win's work week? All right, Jack, go. Yep. Week 1 is 2. Week 2 is what? 4. Now, Jack, let me stop and ask you, how do you know that?
2 times 2 equals 4.
Yeah, because each week you're multiplying times 2. Or, really what you're doing is what? Plus 2. Yeah, you're not multiplying. Because 0 times 2 is 0. So you're saying you're adding on 2 every week. Now, we could make 52 columns. But how terrible would that be?
Terrible.
Is it necessary, if our number stays the same, which is 2, and it does, do we have to make out 52 columns? No, that would be dismal. What do you think we could do instead? Can we fast forward to week 52?
Yes.
Okay, ... But there has to be some sort of mathematical something that'll help us figure out how much money he's going to have on week 52. Now let me stop and ask you this. Why is it week 52? Why is that important? There's 52 weeks in a year. Now there's some stuff you just got to know. You just got to know there are 52 weeks in a year. How many days are in a year? 365, except for leap years, which this is a leap year, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. So there's 29 days in February this year. But it won't be again for another 4 years.
Yeah, so if you're born on leap year, then
you only have a birthday technically every 4 years. Okay, hold on. No stories about that. Colin, what's going on here? What can we do?
You could do this first week and do 2 times 52.
Okay, tell me why.
Because each week you get $2.
Yes.
And you're really just doing it for 52.
Fabulous. So he said 52 times 2, which is correct. You get $2 every week for 52 weeks, which gives you $104. Hey, it's better than nothing. Okay. Now, Will, who wants to do Will's work savings? All right, Katie, go.
So he gets 4.
Okay.
1.
Then what are we doing to then get to next week?
Adding 4.
Yeah, we added 4 to begin with as well. So we get what?
8.
Mm-hmm. Add 4. And then blah, 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 all the way down. What are we going to do here to figure out the 52nd week? Do we have to make a chart?
No.
No, that's the whole point of this lesson. What are you going to do, Andrew?
Say 52 times 4.
Absolutely. Ooh, good thoughts. I also heard you could do 104 times 2 because you're doubling what Win made.
It's so much more money, like compared, like it's only $2. Like $2 distant when you start, but when you end, it's like it's 100.
Well, that's the interesting thing about it. Because if you do think about how much you could save, $2 a week sounds like nothing. I mean, you could buy half a latte at Starbucks for that, which is nothing. So if you can put that down, or even like $1 every day,
I get $1.
that's pretty intense. Okay? All right, so what's Win's rule? Shh. What's Win's rule? +2. What's Will's rule? Will? plus 4. Good. Very good. All right, let's do another one. That's it.
Do my name.
All right, I'm going to skip a line, and this one again needs a 3. It's a 3-row box, and we need 5 columns. We have rule A, and we have rule B. We have start, first, second, and third. All right, quickly get that down for me. Now, while you're writing, I'm going to be talking to you and my loyal YouTube fans. Hey, YouTube fans. Some things we have to remember is that we're going from top to bottom. We're looking at what is happening when you go from the top line, which is rule A here, to the bottom row, which is rule B. Top to bottom, top to bottom. If you look the opposite way, you're doing the inverse. You're doing the wrong way. All right, so who wants to look and see what you think we're doing here? First of all, give me the prediction. What are the 2 operations it could be? Because now we're out of the whole, oh, it's addition or subtraction, or oh, it's multiplication or division. No, it could be anything at this point. So tell me the 2 operations it could be. What do you think, Nolly?
Addition and multiplication.
Okay, why? Addition or multiplication?
Because 2 times 2 is 20 times 2 is 40.
Okay, because you're going, can I say it this way? You're going from small to big, right? Yeah. Rule A is smaller than B. Rule A is smaller than B. Rule A is smaller and B is bigger. Okay, so give me some 2 thoughts then on what it could be. One of them is multiplying and one of them is adding. How about you, Kate? Tell me one. Give me one with addition and one with multiplication. Plus 20? Or what? Times 2. Okay, they both work on this first column. Now let's move over to the next column. If we add 20, does that work?
No.
Yes. So plus 20 works. What about times 2?
No.
I know it doesn't because I can look at that 8 and I can say 8 times 2 is 16. So it ends with a 6, not an 8. So that doesn't work. We think it's plus 20. Let's verify. Yes, it works again. So what is our rule? Plus 20.
So could write that.
Or, how can you write that as an algebraic expression?
A plus 20. Yeah, A plus 20. Equals B.
Equals B. Now tell me this, why am I using capital letters here? Because it doesn't tell you that usually we start with lowercase letters? Why, Jack?
Because the rule A and capital.
Absolutely, because rule A and rule B in the chart are capital. You follow the pattern of whatever is given you. Okay, let's do one that's a little bit different. If you're running out of room, you can move to the next slide, but I have about this much space and it's fine. Okay, rule G, colon, 0, add 2. Then I need a 3-line chart here with 5 columns. Then we have rule H, start with 0, add 10. And by the way, Emily, I use a lot of shorthand, so W with a line means with, just in case you weren't sure. Teach you some note-taking strategies while we're at it. Okay, you about ready?
Yes.
All right, let's move quickly, please. All right, let's start with G. Look at rule G only. We have a completely blank chart. All we have are the headers. We have our column headings and our row headings. How in the world do we know what to do? Will thinks he knows. Emily thinks she knows. All right, Will, what do you do?
Okay, so it says the rule G says
Goes with this. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. So rule G goes with this top row then. Okay, let's try it out. Go, Will.
Okay, so you start with 0, 2,
Okay.
and then you put 2 in
Uh-huh.
the next one. And then you go 2 more,
Okay.
which would be 4,
Yes.
and then 6.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you have to write these plus 2's in between?
No.
No, of course not. In fact, I'd rather you didn't. I'm just putting them there so you can see in case you need it.
Can we if we want to?
You can, but I don't want you to get confused, as long as it's little. Okay, who wants to do H? The best letter in the alphabet. Colin, go.
Do you do the same thing?
You do. So how do you know how to fill in row H?
You copy the top.
But we're not doing rule G, now we're doing rule H.
Then you go to the bottom.
Start.
Yeah, start at 0
Uh-huh.
and do 0.
Uh-huh.
Then the first one's 10,
Okay.
and then the second one's 20,
Okay.
and then 30.
Perfect. How did you know that's what it was?
Because it says add 10.
Add 10 every time. We're skip counting. Fabulous. Now, let me ask you this. This is a little bit different than what we've done before. Write this down. How are these rules related?
Do we have to tell how old they are?
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. How are these two rules related? H and G. How are they related? And tell me what you're going to be looking for to figure this out, Catherine.
So they're related because if you multiply them by 5, if you multiply rule G
Uh-huh.
by 5,
Yes.
it'll equal rule H.
Okay, let's test it. G times 8. G times 5 equals 0. Perfect. 2 times 5 equals 10. 4 times 5 equals 20. Okay, I trust her. How do you want to write that, Catherine?
So,
Say we're going to write it as an algebraic expression because it was so fancy. I'm asking Catherine.
You're going to write G
Okay,
times 5.
and how are we going to write that? Like this?
No, you're going to write it 5.
Fabulous. Have I mentioned that I love algebra?
Yeah.
Once or a billion times. Okay, one more. Ready?
another one?
One more. One more. It's not bad.
Just one more.
Just
Can
one
this
more.
be the brain teaser?
There is a lot to fill in.
Yeah, can we do it on our
Rule A. Start with 47. Subtract 3. Rule B. Start with 59 and subtract 3.
Are you going to freeze it? So you can...
I'll go in just a minute. You just need a 2-line box here. 5 columns. You have A and you have B. Once you fill it in, then you need to figure out what is a relationship between A and B. fill it in and I'll come up here and check it.
Miss Hart, how many columns do you need?
You need 5 total. I'm gonna go ahead and put the answers under here for
Your YouTube
my loyal YouTube fans.
Wait, so you just go up and show you
Do they usually
Uh-huh.
like do something where you ask questions? Like what?
Hold on a second. Let me show you something. All right, so you fill it in because you know where to start. You take 3 away every time, take 3 away every time. Then you're figuring out what's the relationship between the top line and the bottom line. Top line and bottom line. So it is, you know that your only 2 operations that it could be are this or this because B is bigger than A. So that's your rule, and that is your algebra.